Hello, my wonderful friends. It's me. And it's time for a story. A story from my own subreddit, actually, r/Moonhorse Stories, where you should send stories if you would like me to read them. That is a shameless plug, and I said reen instead of read. I'm not going to edit that out because I'm lazy. Yep. Anyway, this is from Reddit user Azriel Sunhawk. It's a heck of a name. This is groups that implode due to ego and stupidity. Well, I guess that pretty much says all there is to say, doesn't it? Let's find out. Here we go. Hey, Moonhorse.
Hi.
Hugs to you and the Moon Cult. Oh, well, thank you very much. I was listening to your story, The Furry Community is Not Welcoming, from 2021. Oh, yes, I remember that one. I listened to the details, and I'm finding many groups are going the same route. Yeah, that does seem to be a thing, doesn't it? Please keep in mind this is from memory, so the conversations are not verbatim, but damn close. Fair. I was in a circle. I am/was pagan. At this point, I'm spiritually diverse. When I was very young, and my son was about 3, same one from the SeaWorld story, he's 29 now, and a good man. Well, that's awesome. I found a local circle, and I joined. I was one of the first members, like the 4th or 5th one there. Over time, I selectively brought a few people into the circle whom I felt would be good additions to the circle. Eventually, more and more people joined. And oh yes, there were many problems. In the end, it turned into a drug and fuck fest. Whoa! That took a hard left turn, didn't it? Woo! I was one of the vocal minority saying, hey, maybe we should not do this stuff, drinking and drugs, before we handle the energies we're trying to raise. Yeah, I was ignored. Well, for a while, they curbed the drinking until after the ritual, but not for long. You know, I'm not a spiritual person, and I don't fully understand the whole pagan magic thing, but one would think it's a bit like handling volatile chemicals if spirits are really just that dangerous. Yeah, you probably shouldn't be fucked up when you're doing that. You know, I mean, I don't have to be like a fucking pagan master or like actually understand the nature of the spirits in the universe to be like, hey, maybe don't be drunk when conjuring demons or whatever. You know? Kind of the same thing as like, hey, maybe don't be drunk when driving the fucking forklift. Kind of fits in the same group, doesn't it? Yeah, maybe a little bit. I don't know. It was just me. It was frustrating because a circle is supposed to be, in all things, quote, in perfect love and perfect trust. You're supposed to be able to be with these people like family. Towards the end, I didn't trust these fuckers any further than I could spit a water buffalo. You have a way with words. Well, there were 2 incidents that caused me to disassociate myself from this group completely. Okay. At this point, I've been a part of that circle for about 6 years, and I've never been initiated. One night there was this really snotty, bitchy guy who had been there for all of 30 minutes, and was immediately initiated. Reed was willing to suck dick on command. Yes, I'm still salty about it. Well, it definitely seems like they played favorites in that's for sure. Gotta love when people act like that, don't you? So, I asked the, quote, assistant high priest, unquote. Yes, there was a high priest and a high priestess and assistants. Do you get business cards for that? He just happened to be the one I saw first. I asked him, so, can I ask you, why haven't I been initiated yet? I'm serious, I've been here longer than all of you. Why have I not been initiated? And he starts this fucking gaslighting diatribe about, well, you must be feeling in yourself that you're ready, and then take the proper steps. Okay, what are the proper steps? He kind of chokes a few times, looks puzzled, uncomfortable, and says he'll get back to me. He couldn't make them up on the spot. Point of the matter is, I'm not a hoe, and I'm choosy in who I fuck, and because of that, my unwillingness to fuck anyone there, well, I'm not going to be initiated until I brought in more pretty people. Wow, these guys kind of suck. Like, just, I kid you not. I was never outright said, but Mama here ain't stupid. Please understand this is my perspective, and I could of course be wrong, but I watched them do damn near the exact same thing to one of my best friends after I'd left. The following was my last straw with this group. We were there one night, and there was this fucker who I had no idea why he even came, because he wasn't there for the spirituality aspect. He was there for the party. Him and another guy go out under the porch light. Luckily, this is a rural area, so there were no cops on the regular. These two fuckers lit up a couple of crack pipes, wow! In full view of the road under the porch light. Like, and these people are always the ones who are surprised that they get caught. Like, what? I got arrested. And it's like, yeah, because you're fucking dumb. Like, really? Look, man, don't do that shit because it's really bad for you. But also, maybe don't do that where literally everyone can see you. Do they not understand the concept of a secret? This is, wow. Oh, hell no. I am not going to jeopardize my kids because of these two idiots. Please keep in mind that at this point I had two children who were both there with me sleeping in the living room. The circle eventually imploded, and yes, I took no small amount of personal glee in watching this. It is a wonderful thing. Because I and others had fucking warned them several times. My problem wasn't with the recreational pharmaceuticals or the drinking. My problem was doing it before the important work had been done. And there were other things about the way my son was treated as opposed to how my daughter was treated, which pissed me straight the fuck off. I can see these groups when they're taking a left towards Albuquerque. I mention it, and I'm completely ignored because nobody wants the person bringing reality into their drug-fueled fuck fantasy. Yes, I understand paganism / Wicca and various and sundry other nature-based religions began historically as a fertility-based thing, like praying the crops are fertile and it grew from there. I have no problem with that. My problem is, can we do this responsibly? I mean, Loki can be your god if you just keep the fuckery in the circle before and during the ritual to a minimum, okay? After circle, fair cop, have fun. I can go into more detail, but I don't want this to become an absolute bitch fest. So, Mama right here, she's solitary. It's just frustrating. I'm not trying to pull a Nostradamus on them. A little common damn sense would have saved them. It just kind of makes me sad. There for a while, a year or two, that was the best group ever. At that point, I did consider them family, but their actions, their words not matching up, they wounded me. At one point, there was even a quote-unquote witch war here. Yeah, seriously. Involving that circle and another newer group. At that point, I had moved to Florida and thankfully missed all the human fuckery involved. I know most of the people that were involved in that tomfoolery. I find it absolutely hysterical that these people would use so much energy against each other, when they could have taken that energy to better themselves as humans and put the rest out to the world and make the world a better place too. I reread this and yeah, okay, it's a little bit of a bitch fest of sorts. My bad. No, it's fine. It's actually really funny. Lastly, I went a couple times to an event called Pagan Spirit Gathering. At the time, it was invite only. Well, now they're not as selective. Please understand that this is a clothing optional event. Oh boy. I would never attend it as of now. From a few things I've heard here and there, now that info is from several years ago. If I did attend, my kids were little still, they would not be attending. Lots of folks with cameras wandering about the place, in particular kids' play areas. You dig what I'm putting down here, Moonhorse? Yeah, I figured you would. Yeah, it sounds like there's a couple of snake things in the witch hatch. These groups really have to clean their own house, or else it will collapse. So, I guess it just goes to show that shitty people can be in pretty much any group ever. Yeah, my understanding, if I remember that story correctly, and it has been a while since I read it, but if I remember that one correctly, and I remember my own insights from it, I definitely remember being parts of groups and things like that where just horrible people basically decide they're going to use this for their own advantage, and then kind of fuck up everything. And yeah, I can see how this basically would rub a lot of people the wrong way. It's like, okay, if this is a thing, if you're like, you know, super open and secure in your sexuality and you want to do things with a bunch of other people, that's totally fine. But, you know, time and place, man. Time and place. Everything is about time and place. There are certain places that just doesn't work. Discussing the nature of your, you know, open sexuality is fine when you're in a group setting. discussing the nature of your open sexuality while people are trying to debug a currently melting down nuclear reactor, maybe not the best time. Maybe save that for the potluck afterwards. So, yeah, it's just a lot of... I can feel where you're coming from, and I can understand how that's like a real kick in the ass, because a lot of these things usually start out not terrible, and you do kind of enjoy where a lot of it's coming from. Like, you enjoy the basics of what makes this whole thing, you know, a group. The purpose and drive behind the group. But, yeah, I can see how all of that can just really, really fuck you up, and really fuck up the entire group, and just kind of ruin it for everybody. So, yeah, nah, dude, I feel that, and I'm sorry that you had to go through all that. Hopefully you'll find a group or whatever that's, you know, better and a lot more chill and awesome than, you know, whatever the hell nonsense is going on with these particular groups. But, on the plus side, there is this really awesome cult that worships a horse from the moon, shall we say. Maybe you'd like to check that one out. Fucking around, obviously. But thank you for sending in your story. And thank you, all of you, for watching. If you enjoyed this, make sure you do the YouTube thing. Mainly because we're a small channel, and it pisses off YouTube when small channels get attention. Seriously, fuck them. Do it out of spite. It's really funny. If you have a need, a desire, a want, a will... I was going to think of another word, but I can't think of it. Want to support this channel. First off, thank you. And secondly, there are two ways you can do that. I have a Ko-Fi, which is like Patreon, but honestly cooler. I have a merch store, which is like Ko-Fi, except that you get things, and not like Ko-Fi at all. And this isn't really a support thing, but if you ever just wanted to just straight listen to this, like, on your headphones without having to worry about YouTube's stupid premium thing where you have to, like, pay for extra, and then you can lock the screen. I have all of these stories on Spotify. Yes, I do just have, like, a straight-out audio podcast channel, so you can go check that out, too. It's honestly kind of cool. If you have your own story and you'd like to send it to me, like I said at the beginning of this, r/Moonhorse Stories, that's my subreddit, you can totally send it there. If you would like to see these things being recorded live, I do that every Monday. In fact, there are live streams every weekend, so you can come hang out with us live while we basically do really dumb things on the internet. That's pretty much what this channel is. So, thank you all for being here. I love you all so very, very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.